Hi guys, it's Marielle, and for my video today I wanted to talk about something really super cool that happened to me a few months ago, and that was getting the opportunity to meet Miss Taylor Swift. So if you've watched videos on this channel before, you probably know that Bridget and I are both huge Taylor Swift fans. I've been a fan of hers for a super long time. I've grown up with her music, and I got the chance this past October to meet her, and I wanted to tell you guys that story. So what happened was she was performing at the Formula One race in Austin, Texas, and this was going to be her only concert of 2016, and it was her only concert of 2016. And my family had been wanting to go on a vacation in the fall for a while because we didn't get to go on one for a few years in the summer, and we just had been throwing around ideas and whatever, and this came along, and I was like, oh my gosh. First of all, it was on October 22nd, which is my mom's birthday, and it's also the release date of my favorite album, Red. And then it's in Texas, and my mom has always wanted to go to Texas, and she was in 5th grade. She wrote a report on the Frito company, and she said, I've always wanted to go to Texas. She's just always talked about it. And it was at a race car race. I know they're not technically race cars, but a race, and my dad had been wanting to take me to some kind of race. So I was like, Taylor Swift, birthday weekend, in the fall, in Texas, race cars, it's the perfect storm, we have to go. And somehow, I talked my parents into letting me go, and a big, huge group of my friends got to go as well. So this was just, I'm so thankful for the opportunity, and I know it's crazy to travel, you know, to a different state to see somebody, and, you know, but I'm just really grateful. It was a really awesome experience. And so what happened was there were 3 of us in the group of girls that were going that had not met Taylor. And the way that her meeting her works and stuff, she does things after concerts where if you're really enthusiastic during the concert, or if you dress up really crazy, somebody will pull you from the audience and you get to meet her after a show. So some of my friends got the opportunity to do that. And some of my friends had the opportunity to go to a secret session, was where when she invited people to her different houses all over the country and played 1989 for them before it came out. And so there were 3 of us going in this group, and we had all met on Twitter. We all had fan accounts for Taylor, and we lived in the same area, so we were all friends because of that. And what happened, there was a girl named Cassie, a girl named Lindsay, and then myself, who had not met her. And we were not expecting, she had never done a show like this where she was just like a guest performer, you know, things like that. So we didn't know if there was going to be a meet and greet or anything like that. But we knew that there weren't going to be a ton of people there that were just for Taylor Swift. So we were kind of in the back of our minds thinking like, oh, wouldn't that be so cool? Like her only show of 2016, we could meet her and whatever. But we didn't really have our hopes up. So then a few days before the concert, all these rumors started circulating, and they were like, oh, Taylor Nation, which is Taylor's team that interacts with fans online and stuff. There were rumors that Taylor Nation was sending out DMs on Twitter for people to meet Taylor. And so one of us made a group chat with the 3 of us who hadn't met her, and we were like, oh, what do you think of these rumors? Like, this is kind of crazy. And we were like, yeah, it's not true. Like, we would definitely know about it, whatever. And I can't remember if it was later that day or the next day, Cassie texts Lindsay and I, and she goes, guys, I got a DM. And we started freaking out, and the DM basically said, hey, like, we see that you're a really hardcore fan and you've been a fan for a long time. We want to thank you in some way. Can you tell us who's going in your group? And we had an agreement with the girls that if anything was going to happen, you know, we would just say the 3 of us, because it was such a large group. We didn't want to lessen the chances because of so many people and things like that. So we Cassie just said, Lindsay, Marielle, and I are going, and then Lindsay's mom was going, and my parents as well. And it was asking for date of birth, you know, all this weird information, and they said that they wanted to give us merch. They wanted to give us some t-shirts and just thank us for being such great fans for such a long time. And we were like, okay, like, that's so cool and whatever. And because we were, Lindsay and I at the time were underage, we needed to have our parents' permission. So Taylor Nation called us on the phone, they got permission from our parents, all this stuff, and they were saying that it was going to be filmed, so we had to sign a release form, and we were like, this is kind of really intense just to get t-shirts, but okay, this is still really, really awesome. We couldn't tell anybody. We didn't even tell the other girls in our group that this was happening. It was just so exciting. So fast forward to like a day before, we got another call, and they told us where to meet at the venue. We had to meet at this bar, food truck location. And when we got there, there were a few other groups of Taylor Swift fans. You could just tell. We were all kind of sitting, looking at each other like, this is really weird. Like, why are we doing this? And then, when Taylor Nation showed up, there were meet and greet people who had pink slips that had won radio contests. Taylor had contacted them and wanted to meet them, and we were in the same area as them. And so we were all freaking out. Cassie, Lindsay, and I were crying. We were trying to stay calm because we were trying not to draw attention to ourselves because they told us it was so top secret, like you can't tell anybody. And we were just really, and our parents were all like, calm down, you don't want to get us in trouble. And we were like, oh, we're just so excited. And so they kept saying like, okay, meet and greet people over here. They're doing something completely different, and then we need you over here. So then at that point we were kind of like, oh, you know, whatever it's going to be really cool, but it's probably not going to be meeting Taylor. Then we get taken down into this, we go down a hill by the track, and we turn, and there's a bunch of black SUVs. I'm like getting the chills right now thinking about it. There's a bunch of black SUVs and 2 tents set up, and there's music playing, and we were like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, oh, I'm like feeling it again. But so basically we were taken into the same tent with the people who got meet and greet, and we were like, this is really weird. Like, why are we still back here? Then they started telling us this story about, oh, we're going to take you on a backstage tour. It's going to be really fun. We just want to thank you so much, you know. And so then the time was ticking by. The concert started at 7 or 8, I can't remember. And we were looking at the time and we were like, there's not going to be time for them to take us on a tour if we haven't started yet and all this stuff. Then all of a sudden we're in this tent, and we get these bags, and it's got a 1989 tour booklet in it. It's got an exclusive t-shirt just for Formula One with her face on it. And I can't remember what else was in there, but there were some other things in there too. All of a sudden, Andrea Swift, Taylor Swift's mom, walks in. Everybody starts screaming. Everybody's really excited. And she goes, hey guys, so we were wondering, well, actually, Taylor was wondering if you wanted to hang out for a little bit. And we all started screaming. People were dropping to the floors. We were crying. It was just such a shock. And I always thought that I would cry really hard if I ever found out that I was meeting her. But I was just in like so much shock that I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I was just like, this is happening. And I kept looking at Cassie and Lindsay like, this is happening. It's happening right now. What we've been dreaming of for years. Like, this is so exciting. So we lined up, and it was fast paced. Obviously, she had to get to the show, so it wasn't like a super long thing. But I remember being second in line to go meet her. Not second in the whole line, but we were the ones outside the room. And we could hear her voice, and we were like, what the heck? Like, she's right there. She's in there. And so we walked in, and her smile was it was a big open mouth smile. She was like, hey guys, and she hugged Cassie, and then she hugged Lindsay, and then when she went to hug me, she was like, hey buddy, and she hugged me for so long. And there's rumors that Taylor doesn't let go of you first, that she lets the fan let go of the hug first, and that is 100% true. That was the best hug I've ever received in my life, and that sounds so just like I'm a fangirl and I love her and I'm a Swiftie, but she just gives the best hugs. Like, she really loves you and really appreciates you. And it was one of those hugs where like my arms were underneath hers, and it lasted so long. Like, I probably shaved off time being able to talk to her because I was just hugging her. And she smelled so good. I really regret not asking her what perfume she was wearing because she smelled like pumpkin cookies. And I can tell I'm talking really fast. I'm just really excited because it was just so, I have the chills and I'm sweating at the same time because I'm just reliving it. It's not difficult for me to tell this story, but it was just such a cool experience and something that I had wanted for such a long time, and it was finally happening. And so I don't like tell the whole story a lot because it's just very overwhelming for me. But she hugged Lindsay's mom, she hugged my dad, and when she hugged my dad, she was like, hi, I'm Taylor. And my dad was like, yeah, I know who you are. He was thinking that, he didn't actually say that, but so then she was like, so do you guys want to get a picture? And we were like, yeah, but before the picture we said hi, and we had on shirts that said Taylor's Pit Crew because it was at a racetrack, and she was like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute, these shirts are so cute, I love a good race pun. And we were like, oh my gosh, Taylor, you're such a dork, like you're so cute too. But and she was like, I'm so happy that you're here, and she was just so excited to see us. And then she said, so do you guys want to get a picture? And we were like, yeah, of course. And Cassie had lipstick messed up on her lip because she was crying, and Taylor goes, okay, wait, I just have to do this first, and she's going like this on Cassie, and Cassie's like, oh my gosh, I'm such a mess. And she said, well, you do it for me, wouldn't you? Just so sweet. She's such a nice person. She is genuinely so excited and nice to meet people who appreciate her music. So we took the picture. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, I want to tell her how much her song Cold As You means to me, especially the lyric Mess of a Dreamer. And it was fast-paced. The camera people were like, okay, thanks guys, go. But Taylor wasn't. She was keeping eye contact with us, holding our hands. She wouldn't let us leave until we said what we wanted to say, which is just so nice. And so I knew after the picture, I was like, Marielle, you have to say it. You'll regret it forever if you don't tell her how much this means. And I said, Taylor, I just want to tell you how much your song Cold As You means to me, especially the lyric Mess of a Dreamer. It's helped me through a lot, and I just really love that, and I wanted to let you know. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's really great, I'm glad that you like that one. And then Cassie got to tell her about what Starlight means to her, and she was like, wow, I'm glad you like that one, you know, you guys really like the track B songs. And we were like, and then Lindsay got to tell her about her love for the song Enchanted, and she was like, Taylor goes, ooh, you're gonna be hearing a little bit of that tonight. And we were just so excited. And then too, what I wanted to say, I said this before we took the picture, but I had always rehearsed in my mind what I would say if I ever got to meet her, and I wanted to thank her. Obviously, this is true for any celebrity, but she has been in the spotlight for a really long time, and you know, I see her, obviously we're not friends, but like I see her as a constant in my life. Like her music has been there for me through good times, through bad times, everything in between. And so I wanted to thank her because it's obvious that sometimes being in the spotlight all the time gets to her. You know, she's really lovely all the time and doesn't really complain about it, but you can just tell it's very tiring. So I wanted to tell her, I said, I want to thank you for giving up a normal life for girls like me, for girls like us. We all really appreciate it, and we appreciate you, and we love you. And she said, and she was so genuine. I can remember exactly where I was standing and everything. She was so genuine, and she goes, that was one of the nicest things anybody's ever said to me. You're the sweetest. And that was just really, really amazing, because that was I had always rehearsed that in my mind, and I got to tell it to her, so that was really cool. So that's basically the story, and I know that I'm really rambling, and I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but it was so amazing, and I know that I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity if it wasn't for Cassie, because she's the one who got the DM, and Cassie and I aren't really that close anymore. But I just want to thank you, Cassie, if you're watching this, because you know, you did not have to do that. You did not have to include me. I really, really, truly appreciate it. That was a really awesome, nice thing to do, and I really am grateful for that. Because I never asked Cassie to do that. She did that out of the goodness of her heart. She didn't have to tell us. She could have done it on her own and gotten a solo picture with her, but she shared the moment with us and the memory with us, and I am just, that was really selfless, and that was really, really amazing. So yeah, and I also want to say, there are probably people watching this who want to meet Taylor or have met Taylor or things like that, and there's so much, like, if you're a Swiftie and you know about this, there's so much like hype over this, and if you haven't met her, you know, it's a huge deal, and you know, you feel less than, and that's not what it is. This meeting Taylor does not complete you as a person. You are whole. You are, you know, a beautiful girl or boy. You don't need that experience to make you a better person or to validate you in any way for being a fan. You know, she knows that she's not going to be able to meet everyone, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't appreciate you. You know, it wasn't a life-changing moment. It was one of, if not the coolest moments of my life that I will cherish to the day I die, but it did not change my life. And I just want to tell you guys that, because I remember when I was younger and I really wanted to meet her, I felt like, oh, like everybody's met her, all my friends have met her, and I just never, and that is just, that's silly. So, you know, it happens. If it's going to happen for you, it happens when it should and when you can appreciate it the most, but it doesn't change your life. And I just want to stress how important that is, because, you know, she's just a person like us. That's something that I really love about Taylor, is she's normal like us. You know, obviously she's not normal, but she is a person too. She's just a person. She's a wonderful person, but she is still just a person. And getting the opportunity to thank somebody that I've looked up to for so long, I mean, that is such a cool experience. But, you know, if that doesn't happen for you, she still knows that you love her. But yeah, so I guess that's where I'm going to end the story, because I feel myself getting emotional, because it was just so, it's way different than you think how it's going to feel. It's like you're talking to a friend. You're not really starstruck or anything, because, you know, you feel like you know her so well, and then letting her get a glimpse into your life, it's just, she did not have to do that. You know, she didn't have to have a meet and greet that day. You know, she was sick that day. She didn't have to do that, but she did that because she really appreciates us, the fans, you know. So that's just really cool. That was just such a wonderful experience, and it's gonna be a memory that burns in my mind forever, because it was just, I have no words. It's just so cool to get to thank somebody who's helped you so much. So I think that's where I'm going to end the video, but if you guys have any questions below, something I didn't mention, something you want to know, all those things, I will definitely answer those down below in the comments. And give this video a thumbs up if you like to hear this story, and subscribe if you want to see lots more cool stuff from Bridget and I. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.